Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, you've had a wonderful week. It is Friday, December 23rd, and I have a bit of Weiss Schwarz news to talk about today. We have the live happening on tonight. We have a possible restriction list. We have a little bit on Azur Lane pricing. We have prizes for Springfest 2023, and then looking at Seven Deadly Sins really quickly. So first up is there is a live tonight with Audrey and TCG. That will be happening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know how long it's going to go. Basically, what this live is going to be about is just taking a look at the past year. It's going to be taking a look at the future, any improvements that Bushiroad can do. We're going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. It is Festivus. Anybody that has not seen what Festivus is, you can see this from looking it up. I looked it up on Bing, my thing of choice here. So on December 23rd, many Americans celebrated the made up holiday of Festivus from the show Seinfeld. The most important ritual in the celebration of Festivus is the airing of grievances, where each person goes around the room and lets their family and friends know the various ways they've let them down in the last year. So we're going to be doing that. Again, I say this jokingly. It's not a bash on Weiss Schwarz Bushiroad session or anything like that. I said we're going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we'll be leaving it there. So it's not meant to sit on a topic for like 40 minutes long or anything like that. At least I hope so. We're not going to be doing that. We'll see where this goes. Speaking of airing out grievances, we do have this restriction list update. You can see this here. It says updating December 30th, 2022, effective January 27th, 2023. Over here, I'm going to close this for a second. The messaging says, two cards, a new restriction. What would you do? Go. This was an interesting way to possibly introduce a restriction just because there's two things going on. If I click back into this, you can see off here to the right. Is there a reason is there a reason why it lists the day before Worlds? Because that sounds mad. You can see this right here on Bushiroad. This year, World Finals will be held at Los Angeles Convention Center on January 28, 2023. If you go back to this, it says January 27th, 2023. So literally one day. And a big question here is this a hypothetical or an actual teaser? I really think this is going to be a big thing. You really went the distance and wrote the dates on here to be that. I would not, if this was a joke, well done. You put the day before Worlds, which is pretty nuts. I wouldn't have personally done it myself. This is what an actual restriction list image looks like. This is off Weiss Schwarz, so you know that this isn't like some sort of fake. Obviously, this account that wrote this is the Weiss Schwarz Twitter. So you can see this right here. It's they could have just blanked out the dates or something. To me, this feels like something's about to happen. If you want to go hypothesize, go out there on Twitter and read through all the different comments on here. I mean, I would have thought it would be quintessential quintuplets, but who knows? Quintessential quintuplets, I feel like had a different restriction. I didn't look it up. I'm not playing in this, so we're good. But if you want to join the conversation, there's a lot of things happening out there. Okay, anyways, uh, interesting enough, I thought about this in the spirit of Festivus. I'm like, wow, that's one way to do this is like have a reveal of a restriction list by having people guess at what it is. It's in my mind, they had an errata, and I'm like, can you imagine if they had this kind of image out there on Twitter and just blank it out, and they'd be like, what card would you errata? What card do you think we're errating? So on Seven Deadly Sins, error, overlapping of the icons with the card text. That's fun. That's fun. It'll be fixed in the future if this thing gets reprinted. We'll see. More likely, no, but we will see one day. And I just thought, like, man, that'd be an amazing thing to just shove that on Twitter, have this all blacked out, and be like, which card is going to be errata? And I know there's some cards out there, I say this jokingly, that there are some cards out there that have issues, as we see with Droll here, with the overlapping of icons. Some people, I think, would have a lot of fun with that and be like, when you read some of these cards, I know people said they're like, oh, that's got to be a humongous mistake. So here we have Terrible Spirit Kurumi. I'm going to just leave that here and move on. We have an announcement from Weiss Schwarz. It is Quintessential Quintuplets movie This thing is coming out on June 2nd, 2023. I'm excited for it. I watched the movie. It was really great. I did not do a review on that one. I do have to open more Quintessential Quintuplets. I felt like if I did an opening with Quints 1 or 2 and I talk about the movie and give all the spoilers away, that would be pretty bad to do that. So I didn't. I guess I'll talk about it in June when that time comes around. But it is coming out there. It says pre-orders available January 2023 until January 2023. You know my stance on this. I don't like that at all. That is what, 5.5 months that you're pre-ordering, possibly giving people your money. I don't like that at all. That's no good. So just know that you can pre-order. Would I do it myself? No, I'm not going to pre-order anything 5 months in advance, especially because you can see what's happening with booster box prices and all that. Do I want to hand over money that early? Probably not. Not going to do that. But nice part in there isn't anything that looks like it's changed on here. We do have the 5 sign cards, and then you have 100 and 100 normal, 100 parallel. Okay, Azur Lane, moving over to the JP side. Why I want to bring this up is, again, 140 normal, 140 parallel. What I wanted to see realistically was just the pricing on it. So I heard that booster box cases, the drop rate was 4 SPs, right? So we have 39 types. It's 4 SPs or 1 SEC and 3 SPs. So there is potential for a bunch of different signatures to be pulled from here, and you can see them here. They all look lovely. I know this isn't like the best quality looking at yuyutei, but this is what I got. This is the easiest thing to bring up for me anyways. So there are really nice looking cards. The nice part is they do not, for the most part, I looked through like 20 different ones and they all have different art from the normal to the parallel, which is always good. One of my biggest complaints is you have same art and the other one is just foiled, right? Like you give me a special looking card, but it's just foiled. It's the same image. I do not like that at all. That's very awful. Feels pretty lazy, but in this one, they have 2 different images for what I checked. I didn't check all 140. I'm not going to do that. So you can see here SPs. The biggest one I saw was 99,800, which is pretty crazy. That's up there. But then once you get down, I think the second highest I saw last night was 50 something. Where is she? It was 50 something yen, 59,800. You can see that. And again, notice that there's a bunch of them that are sold out. So even though this is 59,800, it's sold out. So more likely, probably more than that. And being that there are 39 SPs and 4 SECs, ooh, that's awful. With this one, it's the whole feast or famine kind of thing, because you can see there's some SPs that are 59.80, 99.80. I think the lowest is 49.80. Yikes. Hey, it's a nice looking card. I mean, I don't know why people don't want Richelieu. I probably made a horrible mistake by clicking into this because yuyutei, I would say, no, it loaded quick. I've been seeing yuyutei, watching it on release day, actually having to start lagging more and more with each release. And you could tell that probably is a sign that people are looking for these, I would say, these collector cards. That's what's normally sells out. They also have, going back here, let's go flip back. We have triple rares, SRs, SECs. So SECs, if you end up getting an SEC, you're pretty much doing really well. I mean, SECs 49,800, 29,800, 59,800, and the big one, 99,800. So if you get an SEC, you're well on your way to paying off your case that you would have purchased for that. And then couple that with 3 other SPs, should do okay. Remember when you look on yuyutei, look at these codes, these serial numbers. Let me zoom in for the people that don't know, because I do get questions on this. This is a trial deck SP. You can see that T here. That's what denotes that. So when you look at yuyutei, there's no separation of SPs. You'll have some that are, the first bit of this is the booster box, and the lower parts with the T's in it, since it's alphabetical, will be your trial deck one. So don't confuse those two. Yeah, I just broke the size of this. And I'm going back. All right. Triple rares, you can see that here. Not too expensive. When you have these sets, when you have anything over like 80 parallels, you're starting to see the pricing on them come down. They're not as expensive as they used to be, right? I know Alpha Investments always said when everything is special, nothing is special. In this case, there is different art, but when you put that many parallels in there on a set that's fairly popular, it's going to mean that a lot of these triple rares, a lot of these SRs are not worth as much. And you can see right here when we get to the SRs across the board 300, 400, 300, 300, 200, 200, 200, 200. I remember back in my day that these SRs, triple rares, were fairly expensive, but as I would say the collector base has grown, people wanting a bunch of these cards, and Bushiroad subsequently upping the amount of parallels inside of these booster boxes, it has made these worth less. Sucks. Sucks. That's how it is, but that's where we are. You can see it, and you can't say that some of these cards aren't nice looking. Like if you really do look at a bunch of these cards, some that still exist here, right? 200, we got 8 of these. Look at this one. Look at Long. Again, not trying to be perverted here, but right, there's 200 yen, 3 remaining, and look at this card art. Right, see, so there you go. I don't know what to say. Having too many specials, having too many super rares, triple rares, it's not a good thing. It's nice if you want to collect these cards, if you really love these characters, give you more options to buy at a cheaper cost. But still, it's not so good. We also have one big thing to note here, uh, and the player side could probably tell you this, but for me, when I looked at this, we had one double rare at 1780 yen, and this thing is sold out. So that would be Cleveland. See her right there. Sold out. There are some other ones that are decently expensive. It says Unicorn, Cheshire, and Zara sold out as well. Okay, so that's as far as I'm going to go with Azur Lane. Moving on, the Bushiroad Springfest, we got uh, prizes for this, and what stood out to me right away was this one. This is Kurumi. That was from the magazine, from the Bushiroad magazine. I told everybody, do not invest in magazines. If you want the card because you don't think it's coming, then buy it. But if not, then hope for there to be an English one, and there's the English one. So we have this for Shop Challenge. This will be Bushiroad Springfest Shop Challenge prize. We got Kurumi, and then if you are a top 3 winner, you have this stamped version as well. That thing's gonna be expensive, right? Seeing how much of the magazines were actually sold, I really think this one's gonna be fairly expensive when it comes to that. We have regional championships, so you do have this. I love this one. I absolutely love this. It's really nice looking, and you get the stamp. It's gonna be really cool. You get a participation PR for that one. I know I say I don't buy these because I didn't participate, but I really want this Chika. I really want this Chika. And if you are a fan of Avatar, I know people are really excited for this one. You are a regional champion. Here you go. I think people. I wonder how much that's gonna go for. Not sure. I myself would I buy that one? No, because I didn't participate. But at the same time, I'd rather have the Chika. Sorry. I'd rather have the Kurumi. It's kind of neat to see that the Kurumi is out here in Shop Challenge World. So there's going to be a lot more of these that exist. I would have bumped her up. I feel like she's worth it. Okay, anyway, but I guess we had that Kurumi from before. You don't want to repeat. So, Seven Deadly Sins, what I do want to say real quick on it is where's all the cards? Are people not opening or did you not receive your stuff? I know I've had people write me at this point that said they received their stuff, that they're opening it. Really interesting to see. We have booster boxes at $57.70. But let's take a look at double rare. This is what I always do. Right? Remember I've mentioned it that one of the things I use as a gauge here is the amount of listings. I know there have been some cards that have been bought, so I always look at the one that's the lowest in price because that way you can see, there's not a lot of people buying and all that good stuff. So what we got a couple sales here. So it did wipe out some people, but there should be more. Right about now, there should be at least 15, 16, 17 listings. I know some got bought out, but it doesn't feel the same, right? We don't have the same kind of feeling of people buying into this, people selling it. If I go back to the booster box just to show you here, not a lot of buying on the actual booster boxes. But again, maybe they're buying from other places and they're satisfied. We have 14, one sale on the 15th, but that was 10 of them. 16, 17 just had two, 18, 16th was that Friday? Yeah, it was. That was during the TCG player bonus buck sales. And then from here, this is a new release, right? 4 sales and 3 sales yesterday. So it's one of those ones where Seven Deadly Sins, there wasn't a whole lot of lewd type cards. There wasn't a whole lot of uh, people were excited for it, but it's not like an Azur Lane sort of hype. The other thing I want to say about this one is I am still surprised that people do not shop around for cards. So if you are one of these people that bought this Escanor at $85 or $90, I will say please shop around before you do buy stuff because there's cheaper, right? And again, I'm not affiliated with Strictly Broken at all. I'm just showing you that there are other options in the world. As in, you could go to eBay, you could go to Facebook, probably Mercari. I always say Mercari, but I never go out there and check. So you have this Escanor right here, this stamp. Yeah, it's $60. Out here, this thing, you know, again, someone bought this for $90. So I would just say that as someone that's budget conscious, that's me. Seeing that hurts my soul. As in, I felt like you could probably get it lower from somewhere else and save yourself some money because you can get more cards with that, right? You can buy more sealed with it. That's all I'm saying. You know, so if you have any trouble, I would hope that anybody watching me knows this and that wasn't any of you. So, but if you do know this person, please let them know to use my link. Use my TCG player link. That way I can do more giveaways. Anyways, we have, last thing I want to talk about. Poolside Temptation, Toru Miss Kobayashi Dragon Main. Currently, this sits at $649.99. I saw on Facebook Global Community. I thought it was Facebook Global. So someone updated their price to $500. I'm not saying I vouch for this person or anything like that, but if you are looking for a Toru, do your due diligence on that person. Just check them out, and that $500 price is a lot lower than $649.99. So we are seeing a little bit of whittling away at these cards that exist on here. We'll see that where this ultimately lands, but at some point there's going to be that thing where even though there was a huge supply of this, it is being worn down. We'll see if this is going to mean that this is going to go up. Same thing happened, right? I had Terrible Spirit Kurumi up before, right? Terrible Spirit. And that did get reprinted. Terrible Spirit Kurumi. Serious, there's quotes. There's quotes, so let me put this into your Terrible Spirit Kurumi. Okay, before, if you remember correctly, that this thing got reprinted, this card right here got reprinted, dropped all the way down to 500. And it is now, ooh, on August 27th, there was a sale for $1,000 on this card. So eventually this will pick back up, right? Dragon Maid will pick up. The Toru by the pool, she will pick back up. We still got a bit of a ways going here, but there is some hope for the people holding this card if you are trying to eventually get rid of it. It's more just, I think if Dragon Maid does get, let's say, a set 2, you'll probably be okay, because that's where it picks up, right? Kurumi got that lift up when Data Bullet came out. So you need that subsequent release to revitalize interest in, let's say, past cards. So if you, again, want a Poolside Temptation Toru, $500 out on there, check it out. Again, make sure to do your due diligence on that person. I didn't look them up. I just saw the price and figured I should tell you here for anybody that wants to buy it. Save yourself $150 roughly, okay? So I will see you tonight for anybody out there. I do love this person out here. There is one person currently waiting. So thank you, one person out there that is currently waiting for waiting for this stream tonight. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope to see you there. If not, I will talk to you all later. As always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one.